sister. Ain't that Mr. on the radio? Stereo, the way you move ain't fair, you know. Hey, soul sister, I don't wanna miss a single thing you do.
Thanks, Sally.
Tonight. Hey.
So I'm Georgia Rose from Zencuda, and it must be Thursday night at 6:30 because we're in the soul space. So I love my theme music. I have to thank Sally for that. Thank you
You're
for my
very
theme
welcome.
music, Sally. So tonight we're going to talk about all kinds of things. So if anybody wants to call in, they can do that. Numbers on the screen. And I am actually just going to share this on my Zencuda page as I'm talking so that everybody can see me on my regular Facebook page, which is Zencuda. So January 2nd, can you believe it? We're in the start of a brand new decade. I think that many of us have made a lot of resolutions, and I'd love to hear about those tonight, so definitely call in about that. And I'd love to hear your holiday stories, whatever you want to talk about. I am here to listen. So are we live, Sally? Because I got to share that on my page.
Yeah, there's probably about
A little delay.
about a 45-second to sometimes 2-minute delay, and but we're live right now. We'll just be a little delayed.
That's great. So I just want to remind everybody, if you call into the show tonight, to turn down whatever device you're listening to us on, because last times we had a couple of problems with that. And I want to show you guys all these cards. This is the Circle of Light cards. It's an oracle deck that I've actually created with 22 cards for the decade 2020. And we're going to be able to purchase these on my website soon. They are absolutely original to me, and the artwork in them and all of the design is original to Zencuda. So if any of you are interested in getting these beautiful Circle of Light cards, stay tuned. And probably next week I'll give you the website address, login, where you can actually order them direct. And there are actually 22 cards that I created that, we have a call. Welcome to the show. This is Georgia. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, Georgia. How you doing? It's Dennis.
Hi, Dennis. How are you?
I'm doing great. How you been?
You're our first caller of the new year.
Thank you. I know. Another day. Thank you.
So what's on your mind tonight, Dennis?
I want to know how much. I want to know if I'm going to get some. I always want to know if I'm going to become rich one day.
Become rich one day. Well, I think that's up to you, don't you? It's funny
No.
because I was just listening to Dave Ramsey on the way over here in the car. I would listen to a lot of talk radio these days because I like to listen to the rhythm and the sounds of talk radio and see, what I can do with that. So one of the things, Dave Ramsey is a financial guru, and he was talking about goal setting. And he said one of the things that really makes an everyday millionaire these days is someone who just makes a goal, sticks to it, gives it a specific time frame, and does it every day. So if I had to hazard a guess, I would say that we all have the ability to be wealthy and full of abundance, but we've got to make it happen. So what are you doing to be rich?
I always want to know if my business can be popular.
Your business is going to be popular?
Yes.
Well, what are you doing to make it popular?
Well, talking on the radio all day long isn't going to make you a rich guy there, Dennis. Just pointing that out.
Yeah. And the reason why I say that is because we've got to take responsibility for our lives. We can play lotto every week, but, you might want to do something a little more progressive.
What do you mean by that, Georgia?
Well, we have to take responsibility for our goals. If we want to be rich, if we want to be abundant, if we want to be in a relationship, we have to do things that bring that to us. We can't just, wish it to be so. We have to. It's hard work. Got to be in it to win it, as they say.
Yep. I just want to know if I'm going to become rich one day. That's all.
Yeah, I really can't predict that because that's one thing that I do not predict. If material wealth was for our highest good, I believe it's going to happen. But I've been praying to my dead grandmother for the lotto numbers for many years now, and she hasn't given them to me yet. So I don't think Spirit really does it that way.
You'll be rich in friendship, Dennis.
Yeah, you'll be rich in love. But if you want to get rich, you got to work at it. It'll come.
Oh, yeah. Another thing I want to know, too, about my husband. I want to know that we're going to move in one day. I'm hoping that we move in this year. I wonder if that's true or not.
So you're married, but you're not living together?
Yes, I want to know that.
And what sign of the zodiac are you, Dennis?
A Leo.
Oh, actually, it's a good year for Leos. what I'm going to say to you is, I think towards the end of the year. I don't think you're going to move in really quick, but I think towards the end of 2020, beginning of 2021, that'll probably happen. But I feel like you guys are going to get a new place. Like, you're not going to move into his place, and he's not going to move into yours. There's something new coming.
Yeah, I want to make sure of that, because we got married last year.
Yeah.
Actually, I go to video.
Oh, okay. And what I was going to say, and then we're going to go to the next caller, is do something towards that goal. The universe wants to see us giving it clues and working towards it. It's not enough to just ask the universe for something. We have to show the universe that we are also working towards our desires, and then we're rewarded. So keep that in mind.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Yeah. Okay. Good luck to you.
Thanks, Dennis.
Thanks, Dennis. So we were talking about the Circle of Light cards. So these cards are all original artwork, photographs, and the messages that they give are original too. And where the Circle of Light cards are they're cards that I actually created that come with a crystal wand. And there's 22 cards, very, very special number. 22 is a spiritual number. It's the master number. It's a number of self-mastery. And the 22 cards are designed to give you inspirational messages on your path. And the crystal wand that comes with the cards is meant to be a spinner. And I'll show you the one that I brought with me today. So what you do is you take the cards, you place them in a circle, and then you take the crystal spinner like this, and you spin it. And it's almost reminiscent of the old childhood games of spin the bottle. And whatever card the spinner points to is the card that you're supposed to choose, and that's what your message is. So for all of you out there who have been waiting for the Circle of Light cards, they will be available online next week, and we can take some pre-orders. I have some that I'm going to be gifting to certain people. So I'll tell you all about that next week, so definitely stay tuned for that. So Circle of Light cards, everybody, from Zencuda. It's actually the first Zencuda product to hit the market, and I'm really excited about it. It was so amazing to me to see these cards and to see the photographs on them and the messages. And when I received the first deck, I couldn't believe that I created them. It was a very humbling experience because to dream something into actual materialization is an amazing feeling. And I hope that you all get to do that with certain things in your life as well. So one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight was resolutions. And this time of year, a lot of us become introspective and we think about resolutions and we make these big, grand plans. And then we wonder why we never really get to bring them into fruition. And I feel like sometimes we make resolutions that aren't for us. We make resolutions that are for other people. We do it because our mother wants us to do it, or our spouse wants us to do it, or our sister, or whoever. And we never really come to the realization of what we want in our lives. And so for all of you out there who are trying to make goals, the best advice I can give you is make goals based on what you really love and what's important to you and what you really want to do, and they'll be a lot easier to fulfill. So I'm going to pick a card tonight for the theme of the energy. 2020 is a very transcendent year, and what I mean by that is it's a year of change, which, all of us hear that often, but it's a year of deep change. This isn't the year of change in the sense of, I'm going to go on a diet and lose 20 pounds, although that's great too. This is change in deep soul work, deep change of who do I really want to be? How do I really want to portray myself in the world? So I'm just going to pick a card from this particular deck tonight. They're Grace cards by Cheryl Richardson, and they're on the market. You can buy them in a lot of different places. I've had these cards probably a good 10 years, and I like them because they're very simple slogans. And cards are a great way to connect with spirit. They're also a great way to find out what themes or messages are going on in your life because they will speak to you. So I'm going to pick a card tonight. And the card I got tonight was Receive. And it says, when we open ourselves up to others, we open ourselves up to the abundance of the universe. And I'm going to take that card for myself tonight because just doing this podcast is me opening up to all of you. So I hope I receive some really good calls tonight and we get into some really good conversations. So what else is going on, Sally? How was your weekend? I keep thinking it's the weekend.
Yeah, it
Today
wasn't
feels
even like a
Monday.
weekend. It was like a like a good week, like between like Christmas and New Year's and just, chilling out. So it was kind of a nice, relaxing time.
Oh, that's great. Hi, this is Georgia. Welcome to Zencuda Soul Space.
Happy New Year's, Georgia.
Hey, it's our number one fan, John.
The
And to Sally
Capricorn.
also.
Hi, John. Happy
Happy-
New Year.
John-
Happy New Year. I just wanted to wish you a Happy New Year.
Oh, thank you.
And-
So John, what did you do for the new year? Did you go out or?
I just chilled. I
Oh,
just chilled.
I'm hearing that from a lot of people, actually.
I did it different this year. I just chilled, and I chilled and meditated. Actually,
Really? That's wonderful.
Yes.
How
Wonderful.
long
I
have you been
meditate-
How long have you been meditating for?
I would say probably about 2 to 3 years, somewhere in that.
Right
I've
in
been
that
doing
time.
it for 2 to 3 days,
Oh, okay.
but I just started, so I'm kind of interested in it.
Yeah, I do it during the day, mornings, nights, and like New Year's Eve. I
Uh-huh.
was probably doing it most of the day,
Wow.
most of the day, on and off, and and New Year's.
Now, how
And
do you
actually,
meditate? Do you like go into posture or just stay
I just-
quiet?
I sit down, on my couch with my feet up,
Yeah.
and actually I turn on Alexa and I ask for meditation music
Wow.
on it. I get meditation music,
Uh-huh.
and then I just meditate to that.
That's beautiful. And I tell people
Yeah.
all the time, you don't have to go into like a big Zen thing to meditate. Just rest your mind. So
Yeah, yeah.
now what happens when you meditate? Do you get really good revelations and thoughts like
Yeah, things become. There's so much that's running around in your mind to begin with, but when you start to do that and you calm down and you have nothing else around but the music,
right.
no TV on, nothing else on, and the space that you're in is quiet.
Yeah.
There's no noise or anything but that music. Things do start to become clearer
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah, of
and
course.
and you think about it. You may not think about everything that came into your mind,
Right.
but you may get one thing will always come to light in your mind.
Isn't that so
You
true?
know, yeah, and I think it gives you, and then you have to continue with that one thing that came to mind that moment,
Uh-huh.
even when you stop meditating. That'll be there, and and that was the focus of your meditation. Whatever came into your mind when you were doing it,
Yeah.
and you just stay with that. That one point that you have to work on.
That's beautiful,
You know?
John. I'm so
Yeah.
glad that you have that experience because it's almost addicting after a while. I remember when I first started to meditate, I would have to set an alarm so that I would go under so deeply. And it was addicting for me because it was the only space in my life that was actually relaxing. Every
you're
other
right.
place was stressful. So I can see how you would do that all day,
Yeah, I mean, I do it now religiously every morning when I wake up,
That's beautiful.
and when I go to sleep. And then if I go for a walk during the day or whatever,
right.
sometimes I'll meditate like 3 times a day, and there's no set timeline.
Yeah.
It's just that I know this is what I need to do.
Yeah, because you're
And
getting
I
a
do it.
benefit from it. Your body, your mind, everything feels it. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So
it's,
now-
it's great for your stress.
Absolutely
your
right.
stress.
That's why I tell everyone, don't make it a job, just enjoy it. So,
Yeah, yeah.
how did you think the holidays were, like, generally speaking, not even just your family or friends? What was the vibe you were getting from the universe?
Trying to give me clarity on a lot of things.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing is the message. I actually was on social media today, and every one of the gurus or teachers or spiritual healers that I know, clarity was the word of the day. It's like, especially over the last couple of days, as soon as we hit the 31st, the 1st, and today, it seems like everything is just revelations, clear messages, lots of clarity going on. So, you're right on the money, John. Are you still there? I think we lost our caller.
Bye, John.
Can you hear me now?
I
Yep.
can hear you now.
Yeah, now.
Where'd you
Yeah,
go? Were
okay,
you meditating?
No.
He blanked
No.
out on us. He went some other
No,
dimension
no.
while we were talking.
No, but I think the biggest thing that I get from it is, it's clarity, or a path to clarity. Let's just say,
Yeah.
something that you need, to work on, so things get a little clearer in your mind, and then you just have to, everything is always a struggle. Nothing comes easy,
Yeah, of course.
but
things
but it helps.
worth doing never come easy, I find.
You're right. Absolutely correct. And it's just a path that you have to be on. You
Yep.
know, and you got to be open to it.
Yeah.
You have to be open to it.
Real open.
And I think this.
Wide open.
Yep. And I think this. The last thing is, you have to be honest with yourself.
That's the hardest part, though. That's what makes
Yep.
meditating hard.
Yeah.
is-
Yeah. That is.
It's brutal sometimes when we really have to look
Oh.
at things and say, "Oh yeah, I did that."
You know what? You hit the word right on the head. Brutal.
Yeah.
That is absolutely correct.
Those
There's
dark
no
nights
easy
of
way
the
about
soul.
it. No. Yeah.
So,
But that's what I get out of it.
so I am going to, because you are our top fan right now. Anybody out there who wants to be our top fan, you have to compete with John. So, so I'm going to pick a card for you from my very brand new deck that I created, Circle of Light by Zenkuda.
I'm going to get one of those decks. I'm
Yeah, I
definitely
know you
getting one of
will.
those
I
decks.
know you absolutely will. I may even gift you
Absolutely.
one, but
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
you'll be privileged in that. So tonight I'm not doing a crystal circle, but I'm going to show you the card. So let me pick one. John, focus, kind of link with me if you can. We'll bring some
Okay.
white light in and together, and I'm going to give you a card that's going to be your theme for 2020. And if
Okay.
Spirit would allow us to do that, I would love that, Spirit. Please bring John even more clarity with this beautiful card that you're going to give us. So I feel like this is the card.
Okay.
And the card is community. This is very interesting. The card is community. Soul groups inspire radiance. And I'm going to read you the saying that goes with the card. It's number 3. So if the number 3 has any significance for you lately. And it says, stars shine brightest when they shine together. And you're meant to participate in groups and communities that elevate your understanding of spirit and help you shine brighter. Just like the Zenkuda Soul Space.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
card is
definitely.
also an indication that you are meant to teach and lead others. Through this, you will find your soul purpose. You are a guiding light to the world, and you help bring others into their light. Move forward with love, letting the universe guide you to a higher vibration that only the light of creation can bring. Meditate and speak to your guides and angels about this calling, and they will guide you to the sacred space of your purpose in community with others. You will be inspired by people you connect deeply with. So I think that's a beautiful card, and you were just talking about meditation. And
Yeah,
that card
yeah,
came
yeah.
up for you. So keep
Yeah,
meditating.
there's something else in there that we'll talk about later.
Okay, and this
that
is the
came up in
card that you can see. It's actually like a sunset, and the sun has 3 spaces. It's almost like 3 suns. So just take that with you, and we'll talk later. But
Okay.
yeah, I feel like you're meant to do something in the spiritual community, kiddo. You're
Yeah, well,
growing.
you said that before. That's funny because you
You're
said that before.
growing.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna get off. Give somebody else a chance.
Okay.
But that was a great card. And listen, you guys, like I said, have a happy New Year, and we'll be talking, Georgia. That's
Oh,
for sure.
definitely so. And I have
Okay.
Heidi Homer is watching me. Heidi lives way upstate. I actually saw her. Heidi is, I don't even know what to call Heidi. I love her. She's a soul sister. But in the 3D world, I guess Heidi is my step niece, I guess we could call her, but I consider her my niece. Heidi, I went to a family reunion a few months ago, like the end of October. It was my niece's one of my other niece's birthday. And I had heard that Heidi was doing Reiki, but I hadn't seen her in many years. And as soon as I walked in, I could feel her energy. And so we connected again. And she's just one of these brave warriors. I absolutely love the girl. And she does Reiki. So if anybody is up in the, I want to say Saratoga area, Queensbury area, and you need Reiki, look up Heidi Homer. Heidi, if you feel like you want to give us the name of your place, write it in the comments so people up there, if anybody's listening or watching, can go to Heidi. She's an amazing soul sister. And that's one of the things that happens, like John was just talking about meditation. And one of the great things meditation does is it raises our vibration. And when we raise our vibration, a lot of synchronicity starts to happen, and we start to meet other people who have raised their vibration. And so you start to sync with them. And I know when I first started to meditate and do yoga and become spiritual in my life, all of a sudden the world just opened to all of these spiritual people that became so inspirational to me. So if for those of you out there who are just starting on this path and maybe just beginning to meditate or take a yoga class or go to Reiki or do something like that, keep doing it, because you will be inspired and you're going to meet people in the most amazing places, and it'll be really cool stuff. So just know that. And I'm just looking for my phone because I want to make sure I have the comments up. So call on the show. The number's on the screen. Oh, wait, the number's not on the screen. Is
Yeah,
there a
it is.
number on? Okay, what's the number? It's 516 4.
465. It's 516-465-3990, and it's in the corner of the screen.
Yeah, call me. I want to talk to you guys. So we've got a lot of transits coming in. There is a transit coming in, Sally, that hasn't happened astrologically in 500 years.
Okay.
Can
So
you believe
explain that. Explain a transit.
A transit is when planets are flying around the Earth and they actually have certain aspects to each other, you know? And so you might have the moon next to the sun, wherever the planets are, it's called they're transiting. So Saturn and Pluto are conjuncting in the sky January 12th. And this happens about 3 times a century, but it's never happened in the sign of Capricorns. This is a really big deal. You're going to hear a lot about it. And it's happening January 12th. And they're coming together in the same place at 22 degrees of Capricorn. And this is going to bring huge world change. Saturn-Pluto transits usually create history. They have a tendency to create major change, structural change. In the past, Saturn and Pluto conjunctions and transits have started World War I, World War II. The 9/11 disaster happened on a Saturn-Pluto transit. Good things also happened. Women's suffragette movement was developed on a Saturn-Pluto transit. Slavery was abolished in America on a Saturn-Pluto transit. So these
How
are
long does it
deep, deep
usually
things.
last? Like, how long will this one last?
We've probably been feeling it for several weeks, if not longer, and it will set up 2020. It will set up most of the themes in our lives in 2020. So what's going to happen is this is going to bring to the surface deep transformation, ripping away of things in our life that we have really no business being in anyway, but we don't know that. You know, so the relationships that are kind of sucky, but you like them because you don't want to let go of them. The job that you hate to go to every day and you know you should get a new job, but you're not doing it. Well, you're going to go in and it's going to be gone.
So it's just about being like honest with yourself and what you
Absolutely.
what you need, and being brave to do what you need to do.
Yeah.
But you saying that it could be really large, like on a a global country.
Right. It's going to definitely take place on the world stage, and it will also take place in our personal lives. So what I would suggest is maybe kind of like John was saying, meditation, introspection. And what you want to do is you want to ask yourself, what do I give shelter to? What do I nurture in my life? Because the things that we shelter, I said this in my last video, it's just like a garden. We plant seeds and we water them and we feed them and we grow things. Well, when we give shelter to things in our life, whether it's a relationship or a profession or a situation, we grow those things. And sometimes those things grow so big they can destroy us. Other times they grow and empower us. So the Pluto-Saturn transit is really about what do you give shelter to in your life that's good for you, and what do you give shelter to in your life that has the ability to destroy you. And Pluto and Saturn will come in to remove those things that have the ability to destroy you. Unfortunately for us, in the short view, many times we think of that as loss or grief, but in the long view, we find it to be gratitude for things that probably were causing us pain and toxicity anyway, and dis-ease. So it's a really interesting transit. I think we're going to see a lot of people set up to have a lot of change in their life. I also think we're going to have a lot of people who have a lesson of humility, because for those of us who have a big ego and think we can do anything in the world, we're going to find out that we are nothing without a higher source. So that's the Saturn-Pluto transit in a nutshell. You can Google it and you can read a lot about it, but that's really what I think is coming in. So if anybody wants me to pick a card for them or anything like that, please do call in. I'm also going to have some guests coming up. I've got a numerologist coming on. I have a friend of mine who is a spiritual artist coming on. I have somebody coming on talking about crystals in the weeks to come. We're going to have so many great shows. Just bear with me till we get our schedule set. And if anybody has any questions or anything that they're interested in tonight, please do call in. So how are we doing over there, Sally?
Good.
I couldn't find us on Facebook.
Oh yeah, I shared it. I shared it on your Zen Kuda page.
Okay, because I was trying to find my comments before my screen went black, so I don't want that to happen again.
So you're just talking about the transit like it's just more of a big picture thing. Like you can't think the next day, the next week, the next month. You have to think what's better for yourself and your country in the long run.
Right.
So it's one of those moments.
And I think you have to also think about, really take stock. And this is about really thinking about what am I doing in my life that's going to empower me, and what am I doing in my life that causes me to lose power and become weak and in dis-ease and toxicity every day. In Capricorn, that's structure. It's a lot of the structures that we put in place that we think are our security, but really are a restriction. They're preventing us from moving forward and stepping into our purpose. And some of those things we love, some of those relationships, I myself was in a very long marriage that I was in illusion. I thought it was the best thing, that was the best relationship ever and wonderful. And then was blindsided when in my personal chart, a Pluto-Saturn transit happened and the marriage ended. Now, looking back 10 years later, I could never be in that marriage, but I was deep in illusion thinking that was wonderful because I didn't know any better. So that's how Pluto and Saturn work. Also job-wise, I was in a job that was extremely detrimental to me, with a boss who was very abusive, and that was removed from my life. So, and now thinking of that, I would think if I ever even walked into that place, I wouldn't spend 5 minutes there, but I was going there every day. So in the long run, as I said, the short view is, oh my God, I've lost this relationship. Oh my God, I've lost this job. The long view is, thank you for my salvation. I can now really find joy and absorb joy in my life and do what I really want to do. And that's the Pluto-Saturn.
Yeah.
It can be scary, because while we're going through those losses, we have fear.
Right.
Yeah.
And Capricorn, and completely correct me if I'm wrong, but Capricorn moves very slowly. They're
yes.
very
Well, Capricorn is a very steady energy, but Pluto and Saturn are slow planets. So the transit will be, this isn't like going to happen overnight. These are things that are going to be happening. This is actually very similar to thinking in terms of things happening in tens and decades, because this will be setting up the energy for the decade. That's really how this is going to play out. So what are our comments? Because I'm not seeing comments on my phone. Okay, because that's pinned. Oh, I got us. I see us now.
You got us? Okay. All right.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to comment if no one comments.
No, I see a lot of comments. People
Yeah,
are.
I'm not seeing the comments. Oh, there we go. Okay. Heidi Homer, Healthy Body, Mind, Soul is my business name. Okay, everybody upstate New York, Healthy Mind, Body, Soul. Look up Heidi Homer. She's going to be the best Reiki that you will ever get in your life. And Heidi wants a card, but she can't call in because of she's on Facebook Live with her phone, I guess.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to give Heidi a card. Janine, Gina Marie, thank you for watching and supporting. These are all my warrior sisters. We have a great group here on Long Island. I will tell you, the spiritual community on Long Island is very powerful. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. So if you're new to the group and new to the spiritual community, keep going, because you're going to meet some fabulous soul people. I call them my soul sisters and my soul misters. So Heidi, this card popped out, so I have to choose this for you. I don't know if we have it on camera. I'm trying to see on the monitor.
It's good.
Okay. So Heidi, this is passion. And I don't know you that well these days, but just from the brief meeting that I had with you, I think you are very passionate about your soul work. So it says passion, creative light, sparks passion's fire, and it's the number 14, if that has any significance for you. And your message from the card tonight, Heidi, and these are my Zenkuda cards that I created. Within you is a divine light force which fuels you to do great things. Wow. The ember once ignited becomes a burning desire. Passion is the divine light of the Creator ignited within you. Passion is the bridge between desire and purpose. Everyone has a purpose to their life and a reason they were incarnated in this lifetime. This purpose is brought to light within the things you feel passionate about. Reflect on the things you love and desire. What are they? What do they have in common? Do you love children, pets, nature, and activity? What ignites your passion? The passion you feel for these things is a gift of fire placed in your soul. You are meant to share this gift with the world to ignite passion in others. And you're a beautiful healer, Heidi. It says, meditate on how you can share your passions. The answer is inside the fire that burns within you. Passion is divine fire longing to be shared with the world. That is so beautiful. I can't believe I wrote that. Just kidding. That happens to me a lot, though, because I automatic write. And then afterwards I read it and I'm like, who the heck wrote that? But Spirit just gives it to you.
Great stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
right?
me.
Right. But Spirit just gives you stuff. So Heidi, what I feel for you, and I am so touched right now. I don't know. I'm feeling a connection with you over the miles. That's really what it is. your passion is in your healing, and I know you're going to school for nursing now, which is just another way to heal, whether it's spiritual or in the three-dimensional world. So follow that passion, because I know you've had a rough time of it, my warrior girl, and I know you've had a lot of challenges in your life, but tap into that beautiful fire within you that keeps you going, and you will really have self-mastery, and you will triumph over anything that occurs to you. And the beautiful picture is actually a beautiful lighthouse in the sun, and I feel like it's a sunrise for you, because I think that new beginnings for 2020 is what I'm going to send to you. So Heidi, I love you. Have a beautiful, beautiful evening. Thank you so much for your support. Felix Resticcia is watching. He's the chef. And I was supposed to be on his show today, but my regular work schedule didn't allow me. So Felix, I promise, Let's Eat Long Island. We're going to, I'm going to be on there. He had a tea party today. I don't know if any of you saw it, but it was really cool. And Kim's watching. Hi, Kim. How are you? Let's send some love out to Kim, everybody who's in the soul space, because Kim had a rough year, but she found out she's having a grandbaby. So I know that she is really on cloud 9 these days. And Gina Marie, she's going to see me Sunday at Mooney's. I'm going to be doing a astrology of 2020 vision at Mooney's Coffee Shop in Lindenhurst, right on Wellwood Avenue. It's $15 and it's 12 to 2. Come on down, have some coffee and stars. And Gina Marie, I'm going to pick a card for you because Heidi says that's very significant for her. Oh, see, you were holding your crystals. I felt such a connection, Heidi. So just know we are soul sisters. I just picked this card for Gina Marie, and I know this has significance for her. This is actually a photograph that I took. It's actually myself. And the card is number 6, and it's a shadow. And it says light triumphs over all darkness. And I know that there's been some challenges for a lot of people these days. And what I want to say about shadow and doing what we call shadow work is when we go into the darkness so that we can find more light, similar to what John and I were discussing about meditation. And the reason why in the Circle of Light deck I put a card for shadow is because one of the lessons that I learned in my life and that I really want to share with everyone here, because I know people watch my videos and they call in and everybody's in a different place in their life. Some people are in joy and some people are struggling with illness or dis-ease. And one thing I can tell you out of my whole life that I have lived, and I've seen tremendous things in my life, some things no one should ever see, and some things I've been blessed to see. There is never only darkness. There is always light. It's what we choose to see. And so when I put this card into the deck, number 6, shadow, light triumphs over darkness, it was such a message from my soul, because even when you see your shadow, a shadow can't exist without light. There's always light. There's never only darkness. You just have to reach for it and stay connected to it. And one of the things that I wrote in the shadow card, number 6, was trust that the light of your soul, when connected to spirit, will lead you to a beautiful outcome of healing. And that's really what we have. And the lesson of suffering is really one of that. You know, just stay connected to light. No matter how dark things seem, do not let go of that light. All right? So I just wanted to put that out there. And thank you for sharing your gifts too, Heidi. I love you. And that shadow card was for Gina Marie, and I'll see Gina Sunday at Moody's Coffee Shop. A card just went on the floor. Should I find out which one it was?
Is it like you pick up a penny, if it's like on the tails, it's bad?
Something like that, yeah. So quiet night tonight. Some of you are probably still in holiday mode, but call into the show. Ask me a question. I'm here for all of you. Take advantage of my wisdom while it lasts.
I had a question because I was actually thinking, I was just thinking the last decade was a lot.
It was a lot.
Like I felt like it was a lot, and I don't know if I'm being a baby because there's always that like parental thing in everyone's head where it's like, I'll give you something to cry about. Like it could always be worse.
We were really brought up a lot alike.
It's always worse. So
That's
like
right.
I don't want to say the last
You don't want to
decade
jinx
was
yourself.
horrid, but it was a lot. And so
Right.
I was kind of like wondering what the next decade, even though we are going to be in
Yeah.
Capricorn, like what is the next decade? Is it lighter? Is it?
I'm going to tell you what I think, and this is my personal opinion when I read the energy, and I do tend to do that when I meditate. I really truly believe that from 2010 to 2019, it was preparation. I think that for many of us, our lives changed. We went through tremendous, almost like a ship going through the storm, you know, and now we've come out the other end. And I feel that was to make us strong and to prepare us in the sense of our own confidence and our own knowingness. Like I know for myself, going into the decade 2010, I really wasn't that secure. I wasn't that confident in my choices and opinions. And now I know what I know. And so I think that helps us to deal with the decade that's coming in. Hello, this is Georgia. Welcome to the Soul Space. Hi, welcome to the Soul Space. Hello, welcome to the Soul Space. Hello. It's a spirit.
I think they might call back because I think maybe they thought they missed us.
Oh, I think it was a spirit. So I know now, I just know what I know. And having that kind of confidence has prepared me for whatever comes up in my life.
Like this decade was kind of a skill set.
Yeah.
Like
Your
now
classroom.
you know what's important and how to do what you need to do.
Yeah, that's what I really think. And I think it's because I think there's more stuff coming, but the way we're going to deal with it now is so different than the way we dealt with the last decade. And I think that's also on the world stage as well, you know, with politics. I mean, let's face it, the country is very divided right now in many different ways. And I think that that's going to be handled much differently than it would have been 10 years ago.
Okay, coming up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that, I don't know, maybe I'm Pollyanna-ish, or maybe it's just the people I surround myself with, but I feel like we have the ability in the world not to be as violent. And it seems like violence is escalating, but I think that's because we're aware of it. And I think before we would take violence more in stride, and now we're just horrified. And I think we are not as numb as we used to be. People will argue with me about that, but I don't think that we are as numb. I think 10 years ago we were more numb. Now our threshold for intolerance is much higher.
Yeah, and I feel like we're overwhelmed with it.
Yeah, and I think that's the decade when you're going to start to do something about it in a different way. You know, it's not everyone take up arms. Now it's, you know, peace, love, and understanding. So that's what I think anyway. But I, of course, could be in a bubble, but I don't like to think that. So Marianne Sabatino wants a car. We're going to pick one for Marianne. And Marianne, I know you had some loss this year. I hope your holiday was good. I hope you found some peace and wisdom. So, Spirit, give us a card for Marianne. And I'm going to pick from the Circle of Light because I know Marianne really needs light. John is still watching. Oh, Marianne. This is so funny because this is what I really feel for you. It's card number 11, Awakening. And I picked that number for the Awakening card deliberately. The light of the universe opens new pathways. And I have to say, I know you've gone through a really difficult time, Marianne, and I think that you are coming through the rain. Remember, no storm lasts forever. When eventually the rain always ends. And I hope that you found peace and solace in that. So I'm going to prop this card up, and I'm going to read to you from the booklet, number 11, which is Awakening. And whenever we're going through some really challenging things, just know that that happens so that our soul can be awakened. So remember that sometimes we have aha moments or we've sensed something. And what I want to say, Marianne, is I'm going to take this call and go right back to you. Hold on. Zenkuda Soul Space, this is Georgia.
Hi. Is this Gov TV?
It is.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay.
And who am I talking to?
My name is Patty.
Hi, Patty. What can we do for you tonight in the Soul Space?
I'm watching. I just came from visiting my mom in rehab, and I turned on my phone, and you were facing me in my phone, and I said, "Oh my gosh, is this a brand new show that I didn't know about?"
It is. It's Zenkuda Soul Space,
and I'm so excited.
Good. I'm glad. I'm excited too. I never did this before, so been
Oh
on
my
for a couple of
gosh.
weeks. We're going to have spiritual guests and everything. It's very exciting.
I can't wait. And I just had my cards read like last two weeks ago.
Oh, is it
And
good?
I
Is it
was
good
like,
reading?
wow, and I do meditate. So
Great.
I'm on the right path.
Good.
Yeah.
Was your reading great?
It was.
Very good. So do you have a question
And
for me?
I'm like, sure, I have lots of questions,
Okay.
but here we are starting 2020, and I think I just need to sit back and just figure out what my path is going to be in life, because I've had some major changes going on here.
Oh, okay. Well, a lot of us. I have to ask you, as I'm on here, you said your mom's in rehab, but for some reason the energy I'm getting with your mom is that she's pretty good otherwise. Like
She
not-
is.
Yeah, I feel like she's youthful almost. Like she's not somebody who's really like her age.
No.
Yeah. I don't think you have
Absolutely.
anything to worry about with your mom. I think the only thing to worry about with mom is that she's going to be bored stiff in rehab. So I don't know.
She is.
I just wanted to give you that because as soon as you started talking, I got that energy. I'm like, her mom's in rehab. Her mom's not going to last 24 hours in that place.
That's very funny. She just said it to me tonight. I
Yeah.
want to go home.
Yeah, yeah. I had that feeling. So,
Oh my gosh.
so that's what came through. So I guess you were meant to call. But as far as your soul purpose, keep meditating because you'll definitely find it.
Okay.
Yeah, just keep
I'm
meditating.
going to.
And
Are
like
you
the-
going to read it? Are you going to pull a card for me?
I will pull a card for you. While you're online, I'm going to do that. I have Marianne sitting here, so we'll do her next. Patty, make sure you like us on Zenkuda on Facebook and on YouTube. And, of
I
course,
will.
definitely, I'm sure you're a fan of Gov's Comedy Radio. So
Okay, that's great. I
Yeah.
will.
So this is a card for you. And these are cards that I actually created. You'll be able to buy them online shortly.
Okay.
Oh, you got the same card as someone else on the show got. Number 14, which is Passion.
Oh boy.
Creative light sparks passion's fire. So I don't know if 14 is significant for you.
I'm going to listen to it again.
Yeah, 14, passion. Creative light sparks passion's fire. And basically the message is about following your passion. And you were just saying you were looking for your life purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in those moments when you start meditating, what comes to you, what brings you joy, really start to tune into your body and think about like when do I get a joyful sensation? That's where your purpose lies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have a great night. And make sure you
Thank you.
You stay tuned. Watch us next Thursday, 6:30.
I will.
Okay.
For sure. Thanks.
Bye. So I want to get back to Marianne's card, which was Awakening, and the light of the universe opens new pathways, and this was the card. And this is really significant for me, for you, Marianne, because one of the things that this card talks about, I'm not going to read the whole passage, is trusting in the light, and that when you get aha moments or sensations, trust them. And what the card references is sometimes we sense light before we see it, right? Did you ever, you're sleeping and maybe the room is dark and you have no reason to know, but you know what time it is? Or it's light out before you open the shade. We sense things with above our five senses sometimes. And Marianne, I feel like your husband, who I know is passed, is trying to give you messages. So if you're seeing anything, shadows or signs or anything from him, it is him. And just believe in that, okay? Hi, Michelle, Kim. I'm going to pick a card for you for your new grandbaby, Kim. Okay? Actually, they're telling me to go to the angel cards. So I guess your grandbaby's going to be an angel. Angel baby. All right. They said go to the angel cards for Kim. And I apologize for looking down so much, but I'm trying to watch the comments. Usually I bring my iPad so it's here so I can see the comments, but tonight I didn't do that. Okay, Kim, what is your message from the cards tonight? And definitely your grandbaby's coming in for me. I think it's a girl. I don't know if you know if it's a girl or a boy. I feel like it's a girl. Okay. Clairvoyance, Archangel Raziel. I am helping your spiritual side to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. So this is a beautiful angel card for you, Kim. And especially that last sentence where it says, I am helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. I know you had a hard time with some health issues, and I know that you struggled not to become bitter and distrustful. So I truly believe this baby is a sign from heaven of the love that you are going to be having in your life and all the beautiful things that'll come for you. Clairvoyance comes to us in many different ways. Sometimes it's just a hunch or an instinct. I think you're going to have a really strong connection with this baby. So, of course you would as a grandmother, but I think it's going to be a really special, like a soul kind of a connection. So just know that, Kim. Bud Wego, we got Bud here, we got Michelle, we got Kim, we got John, we got Marianne, Heidi. Everybody's still on. So I'm waiting for a phone call. Don't let me down, peeps.
516-465-3990, and it's in the corner of the screen as well.
I have so many oracle cards at home. Sometimes it's hard for me to decide which ones to bring to the show. But I have a whole cabinet full of them that I've collected over the last decade. And some of them really resonate and some of them don't resonate as well as others. It's funny how we connect with our cards. I'd really be interesting to hear at home if anybody uses cards and how they use them. That'd be a great show to do. I actually have someone that I'm going to ask on who teaches tarot and is an expert in tarot, which I didn't bring my tarot cards tonight. I have all oracles. But so, Marianne, I did pick a card for you. I hope you saw that. Kim, I picked a card for you. Aaron is watching. Aaron's from Texas. I couldn't remember what state you were in. Hi, Aaron. Aaron connected with me on social media. And I love talking to Aaron because sometimes he even gives me insights on astrology. He's been really devoted to his own spiritual awakening. And I just love that. He is definitely a spiritual warrior. So hey to Aaron all the way from Texas. And share this video. Like me. Share me. What is the other thing? Follow me. Subscribe to me. Just give me some love. So, Sally, what else is going on? We've reached a lull here in my show. What time is it? We have 10 more minutes. What do you guys want me to talk about?
How about the what is it? It's not like the sun sign, it's the
moon?
No. What do you think is more significant? The sun sign, the moon, or the what do you call it? Rising sign.
It depends on the chart, and that's a good question.
Like when you get to really know someone, because I know like there are like sometimes you could like pick what a person is, like you guess just because you briefly know them. But when you like really, really know them, what comes out more?
I think it depends on the chart. You know, sometimes people will have an ascendant, which is the rising sign, which is aspected by planets. There's a lot of planets near it. That'll have a different effect on it. And that's why, you know, sometimes when we read our horoscope in the newspaper or magazine or a book, it's a very generalized horoscope. It's not going to be specific to your chart. And that's why it's really important to go to an astrologer and have your chart done. I think everyone should have their chart done just basically so that you can use it as a spiritual tool.
Yeah, just keep it like a little sticky on your wall or something.
Yeah. Hi, welcome to the Soul Space.
Oh, you have to hit it again. Tap, tap.
Welcome to the Soul Space. The phones aren't working.
And it's number 3, that line?
It's number 3. So now it's on air. Hello, this is Soul Space.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? We're having trouble with the
sorry
phones.
about that.
Everything's very glitchy tonight. I think there are spirits in the studio.
Hi, Georgia. I was just looking on Facebook and saw that you were doing a live show, so
Yes.
thank you for taking my call.
And what's your name?
Elizabeth.
Hi, Elizabeth.
I go by Beth, though.
Oh, hey, Beth. So what can I do for you?
I don't know. What kind of questions do I ask? I'm not really sure.
Whatever you'd like. You want me to just pick a card for you?
I guess I have 2 questions, but I know, I kind of know I really have to keep it to one. So I actually do psychic readings. I do use angel cards.
Oh, great.
So I was pretty busy in 2019. I do, I work for other people, not really myself. I just want to see if that trend is going to continue for 2020.
Okay. I have to tell you, one of the things that I'm hearing in your voice, and you don't have to be psychic, it could be just because you're on the radio, but I feel like you need to have more confidence in your readings.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. And so why do you work for other people? Do you feel like you need their promotion, or is it because you're not confident enough to read?
No.
Okay.
I need their promotion.
Okay. One of the things that and I'm trying to figure out how to really explain this because I know we're short on time. When I first started to read cards, that was actually the first thing that I did as a breakout. And by breakout, I mean that was the first modality that I did for the public was I read cards. And I did it, and I always used to get so nervous and be scared because fear would come in because I'd always think, well, what if I don't get something right? Or what if I, give someone a reading and it's really not right, or nothing resonates with them or whatever. And then one day I completely relaxed in my readings because I realized I have nothing to do with it. I'm not reading the cards. The cards, I'm just a vessel. I'm just a messenger. So the read of the cards is coming through spirit. Like just like before when the woman who called in and I felt her mom in the nursing home or whatever it might be. that just comes to you psychically through a connection with
Yeah.
spirit.
Sometimes I don't even put the cards down. I'm sitting there talking and holding my cards
that's
at
how
the
it will
same
come.
time.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
When you work on your gift, that's how it will come.
Yeah,
So
it does.
So my advice to you and what I'm being told to tell you is get out of your own way. You're telling yourself you need other people to enhance your gift when the only thing you need to enhance your gift is a deep connection with spirit. So when you naturally work on that, all the rest will come.
Okay.
Because I used to do fairs and work for other people all the time myself, and now
That's
I have
what I do, yeah,
and now I
fairs
have a
and-
nice business. Nothing against the
Okay.
fairs. I think they're wonderful. They were really my classroom for many years. I don't
Right.
think I could give a 15-minute reading now. It's just not my level of integrity. Not to take anything away from other readers. I just want to do it differently in my world. I don't want to give someone a 15-minute reading. I want to really help people evolve their soul. I can't do that in
Right.
15 minutes.
Do a little deeper, right?
Yeah, so my private sessions are much deeper, but I'm always in gratitude for the fairs because they taught me so much about how to read.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get out of your own way and you just deepen your connection with spirit, people are going to come to you, and you won't even have to do anything because you're the real deal. And that's
Okay.
how it works. So just know that and believe in yourself, because I can already hear from just the connection we're having now, I can hear how deeply devoted you are to your gifts.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very.
Yeah. And just
it's
keep that
all
up.
about the integrity. I just
Right.
I can't.
Right.
I have to be honest with it.
Yeah, and
You know,
and
so-
go in your own space, because what happens when we try to do our gift through others, it gets convoluted, it gets diluted. So just be who you are.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. And thank you so much for
Okay.
tuning in.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Aaron from Texas has a question. I'm going to go to him. Thanks, Beth.
Thank you.
Have a great night. So Aaron wants to know about Capricorn in the 4th and 5th houses, and how about Neptune, Pisces in the 7th? Well, first of all, Neptune in the 7th house is the house of relationship. So when you have Pisces there, you have to be careful that you don't give too much. Pisces sometimes like to be very sacrificial in their relationships. They will love to their own detriment. So with Pisces and Neptune and Pisces in the 7th, you sometimes are going to go into illusion about people. So be very careful that you don't sacrifice yourself, give too much, put yourself on hold for someone else's goals in relationship. You're going to have those rose-colored glasses, kiddo. So make sure that you really use discernment and go slow. Capricorn in the 4th and 5th houses. 4th house is your house of family, the mother. It's also the house of home, real estate, but also home from within, home as far as our own home where we feel safe, our spiritual home. So Capricorn there is going to be a very steady energy. For me, it's indicative of you'll have work to do in your life in those areas. It could also be, with this particular transit, a physical move, maybe to a different state or a different place or a different physical home. And as Capricorn, if it's in your 5th house as well, the 5th house is a house of fertility, creativity, children. The 5th house is where we oftentimes find lighthearted creativity, as far as like childlike creativity. If you have something that you wanted to do as a profession that was created or creative or has to do with children, that would come up in this transit as Capricorn goes into your 5th. Just remember, Capricorn is like building blocks. It's like going up the mountain. It's a very steady energy, but it's also rigid. So Capricorn in the 5th sometimes can be someone who puts limitations on their own creativity. So try to allow yourself to flow and be more free-forming in that. So I hope that answers your question, Aaron. And you can find me this Sunday, the 5th, at Mooney's Coffee Joint in Lindenhurst on 222 Wellwood Avenue. How's that for numbers? And we're going to be there from 12 to 2, just doing an astrology workshop about the energy of 2020 and what's coming in. It's going to be a really basic workshop. Anybody can come. It's $15, and you don't need any knowledge of astrology. You can just come, and I'm going to give you the best dates for love, the best dates for finances, the best dates to make career changes, that kind of thing. And of course, you can always find me on my sites too, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram on Zenkuda Official. So how are we doing over there, Sal?
Yeah, I think we're doing good. I think we had a lot of good calls, a lot of people following. Yeah, I think it was starting the show in December was, I think it was a good choice, but at the same time, I think people were a little bit busy, but I think we're going to be more on people's radar now.
I think so too. And I just wanted to also say about the astrology portions of the show. I am an astrologer. I'm a psychic astrologer, so I don't just do astrology and look at a chart and say this is this way because of this. I also go into the energy of the planets and feel them that way, of psychic ability and intuitive. But I encourage everybody to at least get your basic chart, because I feel astrology is one component of spiritual growth and your own evolution and just self-growth. The planets all have a spiritual significance that they want to teach us, each planet differently. So I really think I encourage everybody to do that, because astrology for me opened up a lot of gateways to other energy and made me see things in my life I wouldn't have normally seen. So
yeah, and get your time of day so you could find your rising sign.
Right, you need your place of birth, your date of birth, and your time. And there's sites you can go on and get a free chart. It's cafeastrology.com or astro.com, and you can just punch in your birth date with your time and place and get your chart. And that way, when I'm talking about the stars, you can kind of follow along a little bit too.
But one thing that, I wonder how you feel about this. Part of me feels like you shouldn't play doctor at home. Sometimes I feel like when people first start out and they look at their chart and then they immediately want to take the person that they want to be with for life and do a compatibility chart, but they have no business doing that, because you could actually not.
There's so many variables.
You can't put a sun sign with a sun sign and be like, oh, they're not from me.
Because you can't.
Or you might be like, oh, he or she is from me. Because
and a lot of it gets to be fatalistic. People look at things and say, oh my God, this is going to happen. And it's not the way it works.
Yeah, or it could be other things in your chart. Maybe you need a water sign with you. You don't even know that. So
and that's why the astrology, you don't have to go to me if you don't want to, but any astrologer that you go to, you should really try and go to someone who is an intuitive astrologer, because we're going to look at it and also read the energy from a psychic perspective. So it's a lot of variables, especially when you're looking at relationship charts, because the synastry, as we call it, is an art unto itself. That's like a whole other, I do them, but when I do a synastry chart, I usually take the information and book it out 2 to 3 weeks in advance, because it takes me that long to do a synastry chart.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work.
Excellent advice.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you for that, Sally.
Oh, sure.
And also even healing work. If you're going to go get Reiki or any kind of those modalities, really make sure you check the person out, because there's a lot of people out there who, you don't want to pick up the wrong kind of energy. And that's the one piece of advice I will give for the beginning of 2020 is pick a spiritual modality. Reiki, yoga, meditation, cards, sound healing. Just pick something and become devoted to it and do it every day. And increase your connection with a source higher than yourself. If you do that, you will be in such a better place at the end of this year than wherever you are today. And that's my best advice for 2020. So I think we're good. I think we had a pretty good show. You guys comment, share, let me know what you think of the show. I love your ideas to find out when what you want us to talk about. Next week, I'm probably going to have a guest, so you won't have just me. But you can also find me on Zenkuda Official on Instagram, Zenkuda on Facebook. And of course, please subscribe to my channel, Zenkuda, on YouTube, where you'll find all kinds of videos, live tarot pulls, everything. Thanks so much, guys. I look forward to seeing you in the soul space next week.